Hello and welcome to ArcheryYoga with me, Patrick Houston OLY. Today I'm going to be taking you through some of the things that I've learned in my athletic career to keep my body mobile, to keep my body active. These can be quite strenuous, so make sure to drink plenty of water and rest if you need to. In our last session, we did a little bit of mobility of the hands. So I'd like to start off with doing the same thing again. We're just moving the hands up and down, back and forth. Today we're going to be doing a little bit more on breath work and also including a lightweight stretchy band. You can use a bungee, you can even use some socks tied together, anything with a bit of stretch. It doesn't really matter, it's just about the movement. You can even do it without a clingy band, no problem at all, and get an awful lot of the sensations I'm talking about. So now if we flap our hands backwards and forwards, mobilizing the wrists and all of the tension, because our body is created through fascia. All of the units link up, and by rotation and moving the different joints in different ways, we can move our body and get ourselves mobile and free again. Now in our last session I talked about breathing through the nose. Breathing through the nose activates the diaphragm, so we want to breathe down into the diaphragm, into the sides of the ribs. So we're going to start that off today by putting our hands on the side of our ribs. And then when we breathe in, I want you to breathe in only through the nose, light, slow and deep down into here, and feeling your thoracic, your rib cage here expanding. As we do this, the ribs expand as the diaphragm flattens and pushes down into our core. You might see your ribs, your belly pushing forward and your ribs going sideways. And you can also, sometimes I get a crunch through here because my thoracic spine, this portion of my spine through my rib cage gets quite tight. Very often the case when you sit watching TV or you sat at an office, you have your chest roll forward like this. That limits the movement of these ribs, and it limits the function of your diaphragm. So breathing right can be powerfully effective. Breathe through your nose, light, slow and deep. Now we're going to keep doing that breathing down here as we raise our arms up like we did in the last session. It's fine if your arms don't come up as high as mine, just in front of you. Anything opening up in this plane is good. Pay attention to what you feel changing in your body, what you feel moving, because the mind is the body, and the more connection we can have to the tissues moving within our body, the easier we can move them and the easier we can control them for day-to-day life. And now we're going to come to a T position, and I want you to slowly let your arms rotate backwards, and whilst you do that, still breathing down here, try to let the head and neck extend upwards through the back and the chin comes in. So from this position, we're coming to here. You see how this rotation affects the entire portion of the chest? And then we can do opposite arms as well. Any movement here, any movement of the tissues is going to have rippling effects through the entire posture. So while we're breathing, it really connects the whole human being as an organism together in a way that you can connect to with your mind. Breath work particularly calms the mind, takes you out of the fight or flight response, and allows you to feel your body. I'd recommend you do these exercises outside, get your feet on the ground, no shoes, it's fantastic for you. Big inhale and rotate, and then exhale. Well done. So now if you can grab a clingy band, or you can follow these exercises just with your arms, it works absolutely fine. The technical elements I'll talk about are using 2 fingers to relax your wrist and your arm comes away from your body. Imagine you're hugging a pillar. And then this arm, we push forward through with the thumb and that connects up the units. Now, as we activate our breath, as we breathe into our core, we can expand to take a pre-draw. And as you take that slight tension, you feel the braced effect of the tissue around your core. You may also feel it down into the legs. There's loads of stuff that you'll get to work on, the sensations and feelings of connecting the shot down to the floor so that you are as still and as stable with all of your body working as one. But for the moment, 2 fingers, arm out, push forward, breathe down into the side ribs, brace your pelvic canister. You might notice a slight rotation as I do that, and then we can swap sides. Remember, 2 fingers. Pushing forward into the thumb. And now I'll do the same, and we raise the arms up to the height of the eyes, letting the arms raise away from the body. Well done. And you can do this just as well with your arms. Archery yoga can be done as Tai Chi, no problem at all. Moving all of this tissue around your chest. Archery is in the back as much as the arms, far more in the back, so you see my shoulder blades moving. And then we pull the elbows apart. And that opens our back, closes our back, opens our chest. And this feels just as good with a kidney band. And once you're in this position with the arms pushed forward, the elbow pulled back, you just let the hand relax, let your hand relax and your elbows come into a line behind your body. This will allow, particularly using your breath to move your ribs, this will allow your upper body and the tissues here to arrange themselves pretty much perfectly. We don't need to stress about the positions so long as we have that relaxed wrist. But if you're doing it with just your arms, perfect. Once we're in this position, I'd like you to just slowly move your arms. If you've got a kidney band, great. If not, and now we'll swap to the other side. Do this with the kidney band as well. I find it can be very calming for the mind. Very nice to focus on the breath and just the movements of your body. Feel free to watch the last segment of this video over and over again. Just going through, we take a slight rotation, the pre-draw, breathe into the ribs. Up to the height of the eyes, and down. As you see, I shoot with 3 fingers on this side, so I tend to go to that position, but 2 fingers allows your wrist to cock out. See where this tattoo is? And what you'll find with this light weight of resistance is that your awareness of your chest, the awareness of your posture becomes a lot more aware, particularly with nice slow controlled breathing, that decreased fight or flight response. You end up really feeling very chill. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please join me next time for a little bit more archery yoga.